Hey, everybody, we're back at the show. So this episode of Marvel Monday, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of things. Daredevil Born Again has been renewed for season 3, and I wanted to share my thoughts on Doctor Doom in the MCU. First order of business, we're going to talk about Daredevil. So I know season 1 wasn't the best. I think we need to actually have Daredevil in the next couple of seasons. I kind of like the court procedural they were trying to do. They kind of ruined Muse. I thought he was going to be a recurring villain. It's unfortunate because he's pretty cool in the comics. I think it was a mistake to kill off Foggy Nelson in the very first episode with no build-up whatsoever. I know it was kind of jumbled because I think they shot different parts of the season. A lot of stuff was reshot. See, it says Daredevil Born Again was originally written for 18 episodes that eventually evolved into 2 9-episode seasons. And following the first season creative overhaul, season 2 will now run for 8 episodes. Beyond that, much has been said about whether the series will be a 3rd season. Marvel Studios has made it clear that yearly series are priority moving forward. And the married outfit clearly a character who is well suited to the small screen. Agreed. There's a problem with the Ben Affleck. Daredevil was, of course, Hollywood thought it was freaking Batman, so that's what they tried to do, and it was terrible. Comments from Daredevil Born Again star Charlie Cox suggest that the show would end with its second batch of episodes were taken out of context. It was later reported that Hornet's story would end next year after all. Good. Very good. Love seeing these characters on TV and film, so I'd rather Daredevil stay where he belongs. He belongs on TV. That's the type of character he is. He doesn't really have a massive rogues gallery besides Kingpin. Maybe the Hand, some lesser known characters that most people won't even recognize. If Hollywood wanted to make it into another dopey trilogy, you just use the same freaking 5 villains they've always been using: Kingpin, Bullseye, and Elektra. And that's all they would do. There would be no deep dive into the character like with the TV show on Netflix and Disney Plus. But it would probably be better, but it wouldn't be as character driven as the TV shows are. As for a possible team with the wall crawler, doesn't currently look like a sure thing despite the bunch's presence. That's unfortunate. All the characters that should appear in Spider-Man street level film should be Daredevil. I would rather see a team with Daredevil than the freaking Punisher. Honest truth. Or both of them. That would be like, it's my dream team right there, besides Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America, which is no longer possible now because Captain America went back in time and get some ass. I don't understand that. It's not very Captain America like to abandon all your friends and family to get laid. I'm like, come on, dude. Made out with her one time, going back in time. I would have turned dudes into pussies. Got freaking Christian Bale Batman crying a little bitch for 10 years because one person got blown up. I mean, Chris Reeves, I know people are Chris Reeves Superman as well. But he was kind of a puss in Superman too. Get up his powder like a fool. Ghost Daddy, I love him. So I was watching the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, and him giving up his power was even dumber in this version than it was in the Richard Lester version. It's still stupid no matter what you do. At least this one explains how the hell he got his freaking powers back, because the Richard Lester version just randomly shows up again. All his powers. Like, how did he get his powers back? I thought they were gone forever. You got a masterpiece of epic proportions, Daredevil born again. Delivers a powerful and missive take on a man without fear. I don't know about that. Netflix show maybe, but the newer show, not quite there yet. Has a chance to get better as long as the writing is intact and we're not jumping around with different shots and whatnot, or different jumping around to all the reshoots, everything that was reshot, because there were a lot of reshoots with this show. Putting street level heroics on the map in a way that promises to change the MCU forever. The show is sublime superhero storytelling on a whole new level. Again, Netflix version, yes. Born Again, not quite. I still enjoy it, but I'm like, there was promise in season 1, but it definitely had its pitfalls. Hoping the lack of meaning to do a full pivot mid shooting will result in a much better show. There were a few elements that almost worked. Muse could have been a good villain, yeah. Kingpin becoming mayor could have been epic. But that was pretty well done, actually. Kingpin as mayor. I'm kind of hoping season 2 dived into that a little bit more. Like match dynamic with Kingpin, especially now he knows his identity. It's a nice carryover from the Netflix show. Foggy being killed by Bullseye could have been resonant and impactful. Yeah. I mean, I know Daredevil comic pretty well, so as soon as the series premiere started and I heard the music, I'm like, oh shit, someone's gonna get Unfortunately, it's just part of that particular character's world. Like, people think Peter Parker's life sucks. Matt Murdock's life is worse. It's worse, 10 times worse. But really, the only good parts were the first and last episodes. Yeah, there's some good to them between. The bank robbery episode was interesting. That was the episode I was going to probably snap out of his little depression state and go out and kick some ass. Everything in between mostly okay than that. I think the reshoots and pivot in directions saved it from total disaster. The weakest parts of the season were the original stuff, and the parts brought in from the reshoots were the best parts. Yeah. Gives me hope for season 2. Let's hope they can pull it off. I disagree. Season 4, I'd like to call it was solid. It had its flaws, but the rivalry between Murdock and Fisk was the center point of the season. The glue held together. Vincent D'Onofrio has never been better at the Kingpin. Agreed. His performance is stellar. Agreed. He plays the role with such conviction. I almost get chills watching him. Cox delivers the good as Dee in performance too. Never skips a beat. Agreed. Aylet, who plays her ass, was very good. Yeah, that little subplot with Kingpin and his wife in therapy was kind of dumb. Yeah, I like the character focus, but I don't know, it felt a little modern to me. She cheats on him and he's just supposed to roll over for a belly rub, you know? Never happened to me. I just kick her out. I'm like, you're gone. Bye. This is a problem. This is why I don't want society, because people always act like, "Oh my God, she made a mistake. Don't drop kick her." You have to wait, because like I don't tolerate any type of trauma or BS from broads. So like for me, the moment chick is on my nerves, she's gone. Like goodbye. Like when your dumbass is under a legally binding contract, you don't get the drop kicker that fast, unfortunately. Which is why it's a sucker move for dudes. I guess you got you by the balls at that point. The writing isn't always great. Both Punisher got done. Yeah. I'm surprised Boulder survived flying off that roof. That should have been in for that. Their character motivation will have place in the action at times is rather murky. Hard to see what's going on in some scenes. Yeah. Season one was awesome, so hoping it lasts for a while. Yeah, I want at least like 4 to 5 seasons of this of the series. There's a lot of good material for Daredevil in the comics that they can adapt. It would be cool if they can get someone that worked on that Netflix show to give their input on this and make it a little bit better. Because season one was kind of all over the place, as the comments and the article said. Like with this Mister, yeah, they had that. They had the owl in the Netflix show, Rayland. Kingpin killed him off. Killed him off. He was the owl. I don't know what his first name was. His name was Real. The guy that was talking about moving money around. Yeah, he was the owl. But he was killed off. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, Daredevil has a very strange rope gallery, but I think honestly, for sake of not confusing people, I think they should just stick with Kingpin and the select few villains from the comics, just so it doesn't get weird. You know, like I don't need to see Stilt Man or Mr. Fear and Daredevil live action. Just something just ain't gonna work. I really hope they take advantage of the timing and set season three at street level perspective on Battle World between Avengers movies. That would be cool. They should do something like that with Thanos Snap, showing what was going on between the movies, because with Black Panther in particular, it was abysmally underused and disrespected in every way. We've lost a lot of time with that character, unfortunately. And, sure, he's not the Black Panther. I don't care what anybody says. She's not the Black. She's not the Black Panther. She's not a warrior. She doesn't know jack shit about fighting. She's a discount Q branch from 007. And the Black Panther should always be a man. That's just how it should be. There's always been a line of men as the Black Panther. And you don't see Shuri do any type of fighting in the MCU, like her 3 appearances. She was in Black Panther, she was in Infinity Wars, and then she's at the end of Endgame. She doesn't fight anybody. She makes freaking weapons and stuff. She's basically Q branch from 007. But like nothing against the actors or nothing, but like she did her best. But the movie was shit. So hopefully they just find some way to retcon that because I don't want to see her as Black Panther ever again. So that's my 2 cents on Daredevil. I'm hoping that we can make improvements with the character in the show going forward. I want to know more about that. Your Ben Urich's niece, I think she is. BB Urich or something. Or Porter Chicken. She's got to know Kingpin killed Ben by now. So hopefully we can do something with that character going forward. Because she was kind of underused. Could have really done some cool drama with that. But like the show was, first season was all over the place. Hopefully season 2 can get back to form, get better writers, and hopefully less reshoots. So look on your screen before you. This is Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, who apparently Downey Jr. is portraying. And it's not terrible casting. I'm just like, my concerns come from a place of modern Hollywood. Because it's Robert Downey Jr., some point I'm afraid he's going to have to show his face. It's going to be done the stupidest way, I'm sure. For dramatic effect, which is something Dr. Doom never does. He's never taken off his mask in the comics. The movies are its own thing. I just prefer to ignore those because they wrote Victor Von Doom in the 2004 Fantastic Four movies. They had Norman Osborn, not Victor Von Doom. Because the movie came out like a year after Spider-Man 1, so that's what was popular back then. But like, there's no real build-up for Doomsday, which is a problem. They did the same thing with King, which is why they got rid of that character. It's unfortunate because I thought, what the hell's his name? John Majors was a pretty compelling villain, even though he got his ass beat by the freaking Wasp, which is kind of sad because I don't remember her being a fighter in the comics, but Scott Lang ain't no fighter, so it wasn't going to be Scott Lang beating him up. So I'm like, okay. Still, the idea of a villain being active through most timelines to me was pretty scary. But when he got his ass dragged away by a bunch of ants, I think I pretty much sealed the deal with him being a Joker villain. So they scrapped the villain King and brought in RDJ as Dr. Doom. And I'm excited to see what they do with it. At the same time, I'm kind of hoping that they don't do what I'm afraid they're going to do, which is I didn't see Tom Holland in the cast, but if he does show up as Spider-Man, I'm afraid they're going to have some stupid scene with Doom beating Spider-Man and him taking off his mask, which Doom never does. Ever. Yeah, people are like, oh my god, Mr. Stark, is it you? Because I'm like, I've seen it before, I'm kind of over Peter crying over Tony Stark. It's annoying. And because Tony Stark replaced Ben Parker in the MCU, He took the Ben Parker role. This is why he's so attached to him. But like, get the freak over it, dude. Spider-Man is so much more than his mentors. He's one of the smartest characters in the Marvel universe. We just reduce him to a crying little kid. And supposedly he's in college now, so hopefully he can do something with that. If there are any Doctor Doom scenes with Spider-Man, it could be just as impactful with Doom with his full gear on without taking his mask off. The only who takes his mask off is not Doctor Doom anymore. So that's the problem. It won't be Doctor Doom anymore. Because right here, there was an end credit scene in the end of Pedro Pascal and Fantastic Three, where Doom appeared to Franklin Richards. Because in the comics, Franklin is actually really powerful, which is the only reason Galactus was there. And apparently, Doctor Doom had his mask off, speaking to the kid or something, which I'm kind of glad I didn't see because I don't want to see that. Because the moment he takes his mask off, the menacing villain Doctor Doom disappears. Because without the mask, RDJ doesn't have that villainous, intimidating appeal. He just doesn't. So the mask stays on, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it better stay on. What about the muggles? Freak the muggles. I do this for the fans that have been around for a while now. Like, at this point, if you haven't caught up on the MCU, that's on you. Like, not trying to throw nobody under the bus, but seriously, there's TV shows is like 60 plus years of comics. Get up off your lazy ass and read one. But like Doctor Doom, everything Doom does is for a reason. So if he's gonna be going against the multiverse or messing with the multiverse, it's for a reason. Because he has a couple appearances in the Avengers cartoon, and during the Skrull Nation of Earth, he's the first one who notices something's out of place. And one of the coolest things I think about the comics is that no matter what Doom does on American soil, he still owns a Laverian embassy, so the Avengers can't touch him. So I've always thought that was interesting and a very cool concept that they can really play around with. Hopefully, we can get Nick Fury back at some point, renew Sam Jackson's contract. Just pretend that was secret invasion or something. Pretend that show never happened. And just keep going from there. Because that show kind of ruined his character. Oh dear. But yeah, I've seen the design for Doctor Doom in the MCU. Looked kind of awesome. Like ripped right off the comic book pages. Again, my only concern is someone making a stupid decision to have him take his mask off for dramatic effect. It's probably going to happen. I'm sitting in that theater and he takes his mask off and walking out because it's not going to be Doctor Doom anymore, and I will have nothing to do with that at that point forward. Like, I know why he takes his mask off as Iron Man, because Tony Stark wants the spotlight, he wants the glory. Well, that's that character. Doom doesn't do that. I mean, he might do it to manipulate people, but he's never taken his mask off. Doesn't even take his mask off I hope he never does. But as far as like, because like with Thanos, the first thing you see him doing was kick the shit out of the Hulk, and the Hulk never show up again. For Doom to be a serious threat, he needs to take somebody out, like immediately. My vote would probably for Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi has the 10 rings. So I can see Doom taking out Shang-Chi, taking 10 rings, and then moving across the multiverse to do whatever his plan is. And this Doomsday needs to be told from his point of view. It needs to be told from his perspective. Otherwise, it's not going to work. That's a mistake they made with King, not telling things from his point of view. With Thanos, Thanos is different because, well, he's Thanos. And his motivations made sense, at least in Infinity Wars. Endgame it really didn't because it was a different timeline. What they messed up with Kang was not really showing him as a threat. I kept saying like they should never have introduced him in Ant-Man. They should have introduced him in Thor or something. Because like Skylink can be no threat to him. But I'm excited to see Doctor Doom on the big screen. To be honest, I never thought I'd actually see like an actual comic accurate Doctor Doom. Because Fox has done the character twice and failed both times. That's why I was shocked when I heard that Galactus is going to be in the Fantastic Four. I'm like, really? Galactus and Doctor Doom? Do you think you should set him up first? Because like that was kind of idiotic on their point, on their part, not making Doom the main villain in Fantastic Four because, Doomsday, you kind of have to set him up and build him up. This is what they were done back in the day. It's like just throwing this same Doom is here now. It's like, I don't know if that's really going to work as well as what pissed people think. But I guess we'll see.